Okay, so good afternoon, and we're back. It's your three favorite podcasters. I'm Donovan, and I'm here with my friends.
Richard, hello. Kevin, hello.
Okay, so what are we going to be doing today? Well, I thought that we would do a little bit of English. So some grammar that excites me. I know it's strange to be excited by grammar, but some grammar that really excites me is the unreal conditional. And it's a little bit complicated, but it's very, very, very helpful in English. And we use it all the time. So first, let me explain how you use this, how you make this grammar. The one side of your sentence is gonna have if, and then there's gonna be a were, there's gonna be a past tense, and then the other side is going to have would plus a verb. So if I had to have a pet, had, because it needs to be past tense, if I had to have a pet, it would be a cat. And if this sounds familiar to some of you, it's because it comes from our beautiful green book. I know how much you love this book. It comes from Unit 8, Doing the Right Thing. And why is it in this unit, Doing the Right Thing? Because we use this grammar for many different reasons. One is for imagining things, imagining impossible things, like if I were a butterfly, I would fly everywhere. There's no way I'm ever going to be a butterfly, but that's why it's useful. This grammar is nice for imagining things. We also use it to imagine situations where you might have to decide what is right and what is wrong. So if I found a gold watch, what would I do? If I found a gold watch, I would take it to the police. So that's why it's in that unit on right and wrong. Another time we use this grammar is to give advice. Like people have said to me, Donovan, if I were you, I would wear a hat because your head's ugly. You know, so those are some of the times we use this grammar, and I just want to practice this grammar and have fun with this grammar with my amazing colleagues. So I'm going to ask them some questions. Let's see. I'll start with an easy one. If you could, so Kevin and Richard, if you could travel anywhere, where would you travel?
I'd travel back in time for sure. I'd
wait.
travel. What?
Do you want to use the grammar?
I'd.
Yeah, but you can start with if I could travel.
If I could travel anywhere, I'd probably travel back in time and maybe see if I couldn't do something interesting. Do you want an example?
No, that was very good. I enjoyed it.
Something interesting like travel in the 1840s, travel out into the western United States and live with and interact with some of the Native American tribes that are still living out there, like some of the Mandan tribes. Or something like that, something interesting. Become a fur trapper in the Rocky Mountains, and spend all my time doing something like that in a time where you could do something like that.
Okay, very imaginative answer. I don't know how Kevin's going to beat that. Kevin, I'll repeat the question. If you could travel anywhere, where would you go?
I guess I'd travel to. Kind of want to travel to another planet. Just like there's I think it's Alpha Centauri. It's about 5 light years away or something like that. I'd just like to see what's there. Probably need to take a spaceship rather than a bus or something. But yeah, just to see if there's like life on another planet, really. Any planet which has got life on that you can kind of talk to would be nice. I might have to travel back in time to do it, or forward in time. I don't know. Yeah, another planet with things on you can talk to that won't try and eat you. I don't want to be eaten by an alien.
Okay, nobody would want to be eaten by an alien. Thank you, Kevin.
It feels like an important caveat.
Okay, how about next question? Okay, if you had $10 million, what would you do? I know what I would do. I would build 2 very big houses. One house would be for me, my husband, and my 5 cats. The house next door, I would hire people because they're going to be saving cats off the street. So the house next door will be like a cat haven to save and protect cats that need a home. That's what I would do. But what would you guys do if you had $10 million? If you had $10 million, what would you do?
Is it 10 million US?
Of course.
Okay.
Kevin?
I'd probably quit my job. If I had $10 million, I would definitely quit my job and travel the world with my wife and my kids. I don't know about my cats, though. I couldn't really leave them alone. So maybe I'd...
If you gave me some of the 10 million, I would look after your cats.
Yeah, but they're very picky. They might not like you. Oh, I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would.
All cats like me.
Of course.
All cats like me.
Okay, I'll travel. I'll find a way to take my cats. Or, I don't know. Damn. Maybe I'll just stick around the house and buy a nice cat thing.
Okay, Richard.
Okay, let's see. If I had $10 million, I'd probably want to do something meaningful. So I'd probably try to start an NGO, some sort of nonprofit organization aimed at conservation of wildlife areas and conservation of endangered species and conservation of wilderness areas. And I'm not sure where it would be centered. Maybe I would focus on countries in Southeast Asia like Thailand. Thailand it's the only country that can actually boast of tiger population increases. And the reason for that is because they get funding from the United States to train an NGO called Freeland. They get funding from the United States to train park rangers, train and pay park rangers in police tactics to go out and defend wildlife against poachers. Poachers are like illegal hunters. And they actually go out into the jungles. And I'd like to do that as well. Go out into the jungle with some guns and get in a firefight with some poachers and make some arrests and do some stings. And all of that right now is being threatened because of the politics going on in the United States right now. But if I had $10 million, I could probably fund my own NGO, or I could contribute vast amounts of money to existing NGOs that try to protect and conserve wildlife. So that's what I would do.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Kevin, is it just me, or is Richard purposefully giving super smart answers so that we look bad?
It's coming out, I think, because he can give super smart answers.
So let's go with something different.
Okay.
If you were an animal, what animal would you be?
Okay. What's the smartest animal to name? Okay, I would like to be the Icelandic shark that's been alive for 500 years. Because, I'd like to see how fish have changed in the past 500 years. Maybe not that much, and maybe it's not that smart, but I don't know. That's a start.
The shark is really 500 years old.
They reckon so. It looks pretty old. It's got like teeth missing and stuff.
Is it just like one particular shark, or the whole species
think so.
lives that long?
It's the only one they've mentioned. I don't know if there's one that's like 499 years old or 498, but it was on the BBC, so...
Okay, the sharks do live for a long time. Okay, thank you, Kevin. Richard?
If I could be any animal, maybe I would be a coyote, because I like coyotes. That's the main reason. And when you're out in the desert of the western United States, it's really fun to be out camping at night and to listen to the coyotes howl. And coyotes are interesting animals. They're very adaptive. They're bigger than foxes, they're smaller than wolves, and they just happen to be really adaptive animals. They can be solitary, or they can also move around, travel in groups. They can group up and hunt together like wolves, or they can be solitary hunters like foxes, and they're just really interesting, adaptable animals. And the Native Americans always thought the coyote, they saw the coyote as the trickster, because the coyote was very clever and always full of surprises, and I just think they're really cool animals. So I would want to be a coyote.
Okay, thank you. I'm not totally sure what I would be, but I was thinking that it wouldn't be too bad if I were a cat, because I don't think cats have bad lives. It's like you sleep, you get fed, somebody cleans out your toilet for you, you get played with, you get rubbed when you want attention. So it just seems like it's not such a bad life at all.
And you have to admit, cats not only have a good life, but they have 9 lives. They have 9 good lives.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Richard. Okay, let's see now. What do we have next? Okay, how about, if you were a student, what would you do?
If I was a student, I would come to class on time, I'd listen to everything my teacher said, and I would do all the work and work my hardest and really improve. If I were a student, that's exactly what I would do. Every single class.
Really?
Yes.
That's your real answer. Okay, I believe you. I believe you.
Do it.
Okay.
Oh, if I were a student, yeah, I agree. I agree with Kevin. I would do all those things. But if I could go back in time and be a student, I'd probably know what I want to do. And that was my problem as a student. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So if I were a student, I'd probably maybe study Chinese, maybe study pre-med, and then try to go on and study Chinese medicine. Or I might study biology and become maybe biology, wildlife biology, maybe try and become a wilderness ranger. I'd have a plan, a much better plan than I had when I was a student and didn't know what I wanted to do.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to our next question. If you were a woman, what would you do? Gentlemen?
Well, that actually happened to me one time. I was out.
You became a woman?
I became a woman, yeah. I was out in the mountains camping out by myself for about 5 or 6 days. And all of a sudden, I just really started to get in touch with my feminine side. And I was having kind of visions of myself as a woman. And I think I actually really liked myself as a woman. In fact, I liked myself as a woman better than I like myself as a man. And And I think I'd be very similar. Yeah, I kind of the vision I had was of my unborn twin sister. Like if I had had a twin sister, that's who I would have been. And yeah, I really like being a woman, actually. And maybe someday I'll be able to be a woman again. But I don't want anyone to be confused. I am a man. I know I'm a man, and I am a heterosexual man. I like women. I'm attracted to women. So don't get confused by that statement.
I have to admit that I am very confused.
Good. That's my job here, is to confuse people. Okay.
Thank you for a very interesting answer. Okay, Kevin.
I mean, I've never actually been a woman, so. Can I do the same stuff as a man does? What would a woman do?
They pee sitting down.
I mean, I could try that. Yeah, I could do that. I'd definitely give it a go. If I were a woman, it almost feels like a wasted opportunity. But yeah, why not?
Okay. Thank you. Next question.
That wasn't our fault. That was the question's fault.
Okay. No. Good answers. You guys are doing really well with our Unreal Conditional. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? So you got to think of the powers that Superman or one of the Marvel characters might have, or any superpower that you can think of. My superpower, I would like to be able to talk to cats. I read
like with your mind, or like just like verbally?
No, verbally. I read a great novel by a Japanese writer, Kafka. Kafka on the Shore, and one character could speak to cats, and so I just think it would be great to be able to communicate with animals. Could you learn
that from YouTube though? Like they do have like particular sounds and things, don't they? Couldn't you just like learn the meow, meow? My cat talks to me all the time. I can't understand him. It gets quite frustrated.
Maybe, but I mean have like very intellectual conversations. Anyway, this is my superpower. Think of your own superpower, okay? Okay, Richard.
Okay, if I could have a superpower, I'd either want to have the power to completely dissolve into nothing and not even exist, or I'd like the opposite, to be immortal and live forever.
Okay, good answer. Kevin, can you beat that?
No. I'd like to be able to regenerate. Like Wolverine or Deadpool or something. You know, if you hurt yourself, just regenerate, because I tend to have a lot of accidents.
Okay, that sounds like a good superpower.
If I could, I would.
Yeah, of course. Somebody chops off your hand, it just grows back.
Exactly. Or, just stub my toe and maybe just don't feel the pain. I don't know.
Okay. Let's move on to, let's see, how many more questions I have? Oh, I only have one question. This is similar to if you were a student, because this one is if you were 25 years younger. And actually, if you were 25 years younger, what would you do? And actually, Richard, when I was thinking about this one, it was similar to what you were saying. I know that I would study Chinese because I know it would prepare me for the future. Also, if I were 25 years younger, I would get my doctorate and I would study Chinese.
Yeah, that's similar to if you were a student again. But there's some alternative answers I could give to that if I were 25 years old. I read, the world has changed a lot, but that's the time to do an adventure, when you're 25. That's the time to do an adventure. And actually, I did do a lot of that when I was 25. I did go out on a limb and take a lot of chances and do some interesting adventures. But I read this really great book once. It's called Stranger in the Forest. And it's about this guy in about 1983, 1984, 1985, which is about when I would have been 25 years old. And he walks across Borneo. That was when Borneo had a lot of forests. And he teaches himself how to speak Indonesian. And then he hooks up with these, the Pinan tribe. And the Pinan tribe is no longer in existence right now because their culture was completely destroyed when the forests of Borneo were wiped out. And so anyway, he does all this preparation, and he goes down there, and he hooks up with these Pinan guides. And he walks all the way across Borneo. And he gets to the other side, and he's finished with his trip, and he just does the craziest thing. He just turns around and he walks back all the way. So he walks through this forests. He walks through the forest every day with these Aboriginal Bornean tribal people. And something like that would just be fantastic, you know. Or, I've read other books that I could tell you about, similar types of adventures. That's something that, you don't want to wait until you're too old to do that. So maybe something like that, I don't know.
Okay, cool, very cool. Kevin?
Yeah, I'd probably, we're talking about if I was 25 now, or if it was 25 years ago?
If you were 25 years younger.
25 years younger
Yeah.
in this year. If I was born in the year 2000.
Okay, let's say you're 25 years younger.
I could do
Right
25
now.
Right now, okay.
Right now. So you
if I was
were
25 years younger. I would definitely travel. I'd actually like to learn Chinese by traveling all around China, because about 20 years ago I did that anyway. I saw some places. I'd like to have spent a lot more time, and traveling around is the best way to learn Chinese, because you just speak to so many people and experience so many things and remember them. And you kind of have to, especially in China, because, well, at least when I did it, there weren't so many people who spoke English, so you kind of had to, so you got really good really quickly. And also, it's an amazing kind of subcontinent. It's just like, it's so different, like wherever you go, the northeast, the northwest, southeast, southwest, all around. And yeah, I'd definitely take a couple of years just to do that. If I had, do I also get a lot of cash while I do this, so I can just kind of afford to live? Or just find cash and teach English on street corners or something, I don't know.
If you had $10 million and
Absolutely.
were 25 years younger, what would you do?
And I could travel in. I would do that, yeah. Or even so, I mean, I know it's changed a lot since I last went around, just through speaking to people who've been there. Like, there was a lot of like kind of untouched, beautiful areas in China 25 years ago when I went there, and I think they're all pretty much built up now. But it'd still be kind of cool to go around and see what's there and just experience things.
Okay, and I just want to thank both of you for your entertaining answers. And so hopefully this gives people a better idea about the usefulness of the Unreal Conditional. And you've got a bit of insight into your crazy English teachers. So that's it for now. Thank you.